morning, all of you. Myself, Ishang Jain, Assistant Professor in CSE Department, Ajay Kumar Engineering College. Today, my topic is Introduction to Security Policies and Cyber Laws. This is the first heading, Introduction. Information security is a broad field that encompasses a wide range of technologies, practices, and policies to protect sensitive information from unauthorized access, use, disclosure, dispersion, modification, or restriction. Information security basically deals with how to secure your system with any unauthorized person cannot access your system. So we can use several information security policies like confidentiality, integrity, availability. These are the methods to provide the security against the unauthorized users. It includes physical network security and application security, as well as the policy and procedure for incident management and disaster recovery. It is also include how to protect your physical network and how to protect your network and how to protect your application from the any unauthorized access that cannot prevent your that cannot steal your information from your system. Information system protects information and system from unauthorized access, disclosure, dispersion, modification, or destruction. It encompasses a range of strategies, technologies, and practices designed to safeguard sensitive data and ensure the integrity, confidentiality, and availability of information. This paragraph indicates how to protect your data from unauthorized access and how to achieve integrity, confidentiality, and availability of information. Next is information security practices. Number one, risk assessment. Risk assessment means how to assess the risk at your system and how to protect the unauthorized access from any other user for your system. Next is access control. Access control means any unauthorized user cannot access your system. You can provide unauthorized access, and how to protect your system from unauthorized access we can achieve with the help of firewalls. Number one is data, and number third is data encryption. In data encryption, we can provide such data encryption technologies like DES, IDEA. This is a technology or an algorithm how to protect your data from an unauthorized access, because unauthorized user can steal your sensitive information, but we provide encryption on data. The unauthorized access cannot easily access your data. Next is network security. Organizations should secure their network and prevent unauthorized access and protect against malware and other cyber security threats. This can include using firewalls, intrusion detection, and prevention systems. This network security include how to protect your network. We can use firewalls, intrusion detection system, some virtual private network in which we can provide more security compared to other. Next is incident management. Organizations should have an incident management plan in place to respond quickly and effectively to security breaches. It means any other incident that can happen randomly, so the organization can easily handle the system with some technologies that can help how to protect the incident management. Number one is employee training. In employee training means the employee should be trained, because any event can occur anytime. So the employee training should be available at any time, at any cost. Next one is need for an information security policy. This is the need of information system policies. Information system protects sensitive information from unauthorized activities, including inspection, modification, recording, and any other distribution of destruction. Information. The goal is to ensure the safety and privacy of critical data such as customer account detail, financial data, or intellectual property. We have to provide security of information for any other inspection, any other modification, any other recording. So we provide some technologies like data encryption, incident management, and other that provide the security against any unauthorized access. The basis tenets of information security are confidentiality, integrity, and availability. The basic tenets is confidentiality, integrity, and availability. These are the main three pillars of any information security. Next is, what is confidentiality? Confidentiality measures are designated to prevent unauthorized disclosure of the information. It means any unauthorized person cannot access the system. Only authorized person can access the system. So we use the confidentiality. Integrity. Consistency include protection against unauthorized changes. Integrity means any unauthorized person cannot change the data while sending or receiving. Third is availability, is the protection of system ability to make software system and data fully available when a user needs it. Availability means any authorized user can access the data anytime, anywhere, without any restriction. So this is the main property of availability. Next is introduction to cyber laws. Cyber laws is the law governing cyberspace. Cyberspace is a very wide term and include computer, network, software, data storage devices, the internet, website, emails, and even electronic devices such as cell phones, ATM machine, and etc. Cyber laws is basically the laws governing by the any organization to how to protect your data from any unauthorized access. So the organization makes laws that basically operate in the organization to prevent from any unauthorized access. The cyber space include computers, networks, softwares, data, any other devices that are the part of any cyber spaces. Cyber laws encompasses laws relating to cyber crimes, electronic and digital signature, intellectual properties, data protection, and privacy. Cyber laws basically deals with cyber crime, electronics and digital signature, IPRs, and data protection and the privacies. Cyber crimes are unlawful act where the computer is used either as a tool or target or both. Cyber crime means any unauthorized person access your system without your permission. So we have to protect them. Then we have to make a cyber laws that is made by the individual company to handle any cyber attack. Electronic signatures are used to authenticate electronic records. The electronic signature and the digital signatures are used to provide authentication of the data that are necessary things for any organization for the validation of the data. Next is data protection and privacy laws. Data protection and privacy laws are made by the organization to protect and provide privacies to the employees or to the organization for any unauthorized access from any other system or any other person. Next is, what are the objectives? Lawmakers have executed cyber laws legal protection with the following objective. The following features of the cyber law make the internet a much safer place to explore. To be a safety net against online data predators, to ensure justice for the cybercrime victims, to provide debit card or credit card fraud, to block transactions where there is any unusual activities, to ensure the safety of the protected data. Number one, to be a safety net against online data predators. It means the person who use the internet, he must be aware all the data predators. Second, to ensure justice for cybercrime victims. It means we have provide justice for any person that a cyber victim. To prevent debit and credit card fraud, the pupils do not provide any type of card details to any unauthorized person. Fourth one is to block transaction where there is any unusual activity such as the input of an incorrect password. When any user type a wrong password into the system, it must be blocked by the server end, because the server knows the any other person can access your system without your permission. To ensure the safety of protected data, the person ensure that his data should be protected or not. What are the cyber laws? These are the 4 cyber laws: the Information Technology Act, Amendment Act 2008, Information Technology Rules 2011, the Digital Personal Data Protection Act of 2023. This is the important, last one is very, very important, the Digital Personal Data Protection Act of 2023. So the Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023 says that the Digital Personal Data Protection 2023 DPDP Act is a significant legislative development in India aiming to regulate the processing of digital personal data while balancing individual privacy rights with lawful data processing needs, enacted on August of 11, 2003. This is the latest law against any unauthorized access of the system. DPDA basically aim to regulate processing of digital personal data while balancing individual privacy rights. It means the DPDP regulate the data protection on the basis of regularly and balancing the how to exchange the information from sender to receiver. They are the some key provisions. Number one, data trust obligation, data principal rights, cross-border data transfers, penalties of non-compliances, Data Protection Board of India. These are some several key provisions provided by the DPDP Act 2003. Number one is trust obligation. Trust obligation: entities processing personal data must adhere to principle of the purpose limitation, data minimization, and ensure the data security. It means when any organization use the system for providing information from one system to another system, they have to trust on the what are the policies and what are the securities provided by the organization to secureness of the data. Data principal rights: individual referred to as data principals are granted rights including access to their data, correction and erasure, and the ability to withdraw consent. It means data principal right, it means individually can access the system anytime, anywhere, or any type of modification can be done. Number third, cross-border data transfer. The Act permits the data transfer of personal data to countries or territories provided by the Indian government, facilitating international data flow while ensuring protection standards. When any organization can transfer data from within the country or outside the country, he must be follow the rule that is prepared by the government. Penalties for non-compliances: it means Significant financial penalties are prescribed for breaches. He DPDP Act imposes penalties for non-complying raise Indian rupees 10,000 to 250 crores, depending on the nature of non-compliances of substantial violence. It means when you can act any unauthorized access, the government penalties on your organization or any individual from 10,000 rupees to 250 crores. That is depend on the what type of cyber attack and what type of information you have steal on the organization, on your individual system. Data Protection Board of India, the Act established the Data Protection Board of India and body responsible for enforcing the provision of the Act and addressing the grievances. What are the scope of DPDP Act 2023? The Act has been formulated with the objective of providing a framework for the processing of digital personal data for lawful personnel in a manner that protect the rights of the individual who data belongs. Second point, he Act introduced a unique concept of trust relationship between the data subjects and data controllers. The scope of DPDP generally indicate the organization and the cyber lawmaker that sign a MOU or signed a document in which the organization can follow the DPDP Act for the communication. Objective of the DPDP, the PDPA recognize both the need to protect individual personal data and the need of organization to collect, use or disclose personal data for legitimate and reasonable purpose. The data protection regime is necessary to safeguard personal data for misuse and to maintain individual trust in organizations that manage their data by regulating the flow of personal data among organizations. These are the three main objectives of DPDP 2023. What is intellectual property? Intellectual property refers to the legal protection granted to the creation of the mind. These creation can be invention, designs, artistic work, symbol, name, and the other intangible. That's it. Intellectual property means any person can invent own thing that is not invented previously. So the intellectual property provide any type of legal protection to the owner of any invention. The primary purpose of the intellectual property is to provide the creator with exclusive right to use and control their creation. It means the owner have the right to use and control their creation. It can sell or it can preserve the own invention for the future. There are the several type of intellectual property, each offering different type of protection, like copyright, patent, trademarks, trade secrets, design rights. Number one is copyright. Copyright basically deals with the books, music, arts, and the softwares. Patent that deal with the any type of new invention that cannot be happen in previously. Number one, trademark. Trademark means any type of logo that is generated by any organization and it cannot be used by the other organizations. So he can use intellectual property right. Trade secret. Trade secret means protect confidential business information such as formula, practices, processes, or design that have give a business or competitive edge. Trade secret means organization can protect our trade secrets with the help of intellectual properties, right? Design right, protect the visual appearance of a product or object such as shape, configuration to increase enhancement. Next is what are the IPR issues? Number one is data breach. Data breach means unauthorized use of any patented invention. Third is कॉपी इन्फ्रिंगमेंट मतलब अदर पर्सन कैन नॉट copying, distributing, or any material without your permission. Number third is trademark infringement, unauthorized use of a trademark leading to confusion among the confuser. It means any other company cannot use your symbol or logo for your own purposes. Design infringement, copying or imitating a registered design. It means any other company cannot copying your registered design. Second one is ownership dispute, conflict over who owns the rights to intellectual property, often seen in collaboration, employee relationship or partnership. Second one is ownership dispute. Suppose suppose any design have two owners, so two owners cannot collaborate for your employee relationship or partnerships. Licensing issues, dispute over the terms of license and agreement such as scope, duration, and loyalties. Fourth one is counterfeiting and piracy, means production and distribution of the counterfeit goods, unauthorized reproduction and distribution of digital content, misappropriation of trade secrets. Sixth one is domain name and cyber squatting, preventing and IPR issues, conduct through research, legal agreement, IP audits, enforcement, alternative dispute resolutions. These are the some IPR issues that is generated by any of the company, employer and employees. These are the main IPR issues generated by any organization. What are the intellectual property related legislation in India? India has a comprehensive legal framework for the protection and regulation of the intellectual property. The country is a signatory and the several international agreement on IP and has enacted laws aligned with these treaties. The intellectual properties, you know very well, any invention that is protected by the intellectual properties. So we have a law or we have a legislation in India how to protect your any invention from any other person cannot use your invention without your permission. Number one is copyright, the Copyright Act 1957. Second is patent. Third is trademark. Fourth one is design. And this is the patent. Patent are the most important thing in the intellectual property. Patent can be design, grant, and the publish. Three types of patent will be there: publish, grant, and design. There are different validity of the patent. Types of patent: utility, design patent, plant patent. These are the some different type of patent that is designed by any person. This is the application process. We can file any patent in the office of the patent. Patent application process, payment rights, public disclosure.